Gets love. So once you are in love, you don't see what you gain or what you lose. At the time, your primary objective is to make your love very happy. Tat sukha sukhitam. That means whom you are loving, he or she should be happy. Then that is my happiness. That is my happiness. I don't require anything else. As long as my love is happy, to whom I am loving, he or she is happy with my actions, then that is what my love is. I don't have to do anything else. So in that, you don't see what you are doing, what you are not doing, or how much you are losing. You don't try to make a balance between how much I have loved, how much I'll get back. This balancing act is not there. That means you give up your everything to surrender to the Lord or him or her, to surrender. Whatever I am giving to you, you, and after that, you look after. You don't have to do anything. Tat sukha sukhitam. This is a very nice page. Then, in the next chapter, second chapter and section 1, the sutras 25, 26, 27, Devarsi Narad has given another aspect. That means he has brought in some other acharyas to give their opinions. What are their opinions? First one, he says, Sadhu karma jnana yogebhyo api adhikatara. Here our friend who are very much into bhakti, like Dhruva, he'll be very happy. Why? Because it is said that bhakti is better than, greater than, superior to karma, jnana, and yoga. Dhruva, you are hearing or not? Bhakti is superior to, bhakti is greater than, and bhakti is better, greater, all that you can put, better than karma yoga, jnana yoga, or ashtanga yoga. This is what has been presented here, and we saw that, and it has logic also. There is logic also. So it has been captivated there that bhakti is better than, superior to karma, jnana, and yoga. Yoga means ashtanga yoga. Each of them we saw separately. How it is proved also. But as I told you, the fact is that bhakti is superior to jnana only when you compare the best of bhakti with the lower category of jnana. Same way, bhakti is superior to karma when the best of bhakti is compared to the lower level of karma. And also same way in the Ashtanga Yoga. But one must understand, this is a Bhakti Shastra. So that's why Bhakti has been highly admired. But when you look impartially, the things are different. And we have discussed that and we'll discuss further. One more catchphrase, I'll tell you. Earlier we have studied in the sutras. Tad vismarane parama vyakulata. Remember this. Tad vismarane parama vyakulata. When you love your Bhagavan or you love your wife or husband, when you forget him, then you should be very, very uneasy. That means you व्याकुल हो जाते. When you forget him or her, you become very tense. Why? Why I forgotten? Why I did not do the prayers? Why I did not do the chanting in the morning? Or where is he or where is she? All that. Tat vismarane parama vyakulota. Okay. So, and in the beginning verse, no? Amruta Swarupata. Amruta Swarupacha. Anyway, now we are coming to Sutra 27. Sutra 27 is one thing you like also. Actually, when we started this Bhakti Shastra, I did not know the depth of it. I knew we have studied it, but when you go deeper, you know the depth of it. How much of aspects of Bhakti is coming out, you see. And that has been proclaimed by Acharyas, Rishis. We cannot deny it. So many aspects are coming. Now, one more thing here. Sutra 27. Ishwarasya api abhimana dveshitvat daina priyatvat cha. Which means Ishwarasya api. That to the Lord, Bhagavan also, what Bhagavan is abhiman dveshitvat. Abhimana means what? Your attachment or your ego. So Bhagavan dislikes ego. Okay? And daina priyatvat. So Bhagavan loves dainyata. Dainyata means dinata. Dinata means smallness, meekness. I am small, he is almighty. I am powerless, he is almighty. Like that we say, no? So that's the way Bhagavan loves. This is what has been told. What is that supreme bhakti? What is the divine love? The divine love is because of Bhagavan does not like your ego, and Bhagavan likes somebody who is meek and who prays to him. The divine love is because God's dislike for egoism and because his love for meekness or devotion alone is superior. Because of that, devotion is superior. So here what? The reasoning is given. Tvat, you know, abhimana dveshi tvat means because of dislike of abhimana, because of dislike of ego, devotion is superior. Because of Bhagavan loves meekness, the divine love is superior. This is the reasoning given, logic given. But this sutra has to be read along with previous sutra with Naradaji, justifying the nobler place, the superior place for the bhakti than other paths. Like just now we studied. Bhakti is superior to karma, jnana and arthanga yoga. Along with that, we have to read this sutra. Why it is superior? It will because Bhagavan loves dainya. Bhagavan does not like abhimana. Because of that only, these other things are karma, jnana and arthanga yoga are not as good as bhakti marga. Why? He's telling devotion, bhakti is superior because Ishvara doesn't like these people with ego. Right? See, if you go, oh, I am one so person, no, I hold so much of power and I have so much of money, and then you do the pranam to Bhagavan, you think Bhagavan will like it? He'll never like it. With that ego, if you go, that I know so much, I am the great scientist, or I have studied so much, or I have so much of wealth, and you do pranam to Bhagavan. Bhagavan will say, go keep your intelligence somewhere else. You come as a devotee. Isn't it? Bhagavan will not like the ego. That because Bhagavan doesn't like ego, so that's why divine love or bhakti is superior. Let us analyze this. In these paths, you do karma yoga, or you do jnana yoga, or you do yoga, Ashtanga yoga, you are doing something, right? You put in efforts. His own efforts you put in to study or to do action or to do Ashtanga yoga. You are putting in efforts. That means you are applying your mind. Consciously, you are doing something. Every day you are sitting in the class, or every time we have a class, you are sitting here and you are spending time applying your mind. Consciously, you are doing this. When you do it something like this, oh, and then over a period of time, you gain some knowledge, or you gain some punya, or you gain some, in yoga, you become a very competent yogi. So when that happens, मन में थोड़ा गर्व हो जाता है, vanity. I know so much. I know all the shastras. Or in Bhagavad Gita, I can chant chapter 2, chapter 3. मन में जो आ जाता है, ego आ जाता है. And ego, when it crops up for those sadhakas, that is not liked by Bhagavan. With that ego, when you approach the Bhagavan, he doesn't like it. Because Bhagavan himself doesn't like the ego, so he will not like the person who is applying that. So because when you do something, karma, jnana or Ashtanga yoga, you are putting in efforts consciously to gain some knowledge or gain some other benefits, and that abhimana is there in your mind. So when the ego is there, Bhagavan doesn't like it. Whereas a person with devotion, he doesn't require all this knowledge, how all powerful, all knowing is Bhagavan, Bhagavan is Satchitananda. All this knowledge is not required by somebody who is practicing bhakti. He surrenders to the Lord. Bhagavan, I am nobody. And so, that meek surrender of the bhakta, there is no ego. Anybody can do. He has knowledge or doesn't have knowledge. He has done karma yoga or not. He has done Ashtanga yoga or practice or not. Doesn't matter. You require no qualification to become a bhakta. Anybody can become a bhakta. There is no qualification required. You don't have to be that satsampatti. Nothing is required. No qualification. So bhakta, how does he go to the Bhagavan? He surrenders totally. He says, Dasoham. I am the dasa. I am the servant. And then he seeks his blessings. Isn't it? He seeks his blessings as a servant, as a dasa. So with that love for the Bhagavan, all this self-inflicted ego, what you gain out of jnana or karma, is not there. With the divine love, the bhakti for the God, all this arrogance, vanity, egoism vanishes. And no more egos, no garva, no abhimana. It all vanishes in presence of bhakti. So whom Bhagavan will like more? He will like the jnani or the bhakta? Obviously, he will like the bhakta. So when this condition appears, you imagine a situation where the Bhakta has surrendered to the Lord and is doing Pada Seva of Bhagavan. He's doing something, giving a flower or he's doing a, Dupa, Dipa, Seva. He's doing the Seva. In that situation, the Bhagavan's heart melts. The devotee is further held by the Lord himself. The Lord himself showers more grace and blessing upon the devotee because he likes the devotee. Dasoha. Bhagavan takes him as his eternal child. Bhagavan takes him as the Bhakta and as his own child. And then with an infinite compassion, he showers the grace and blessings upon him. Once the devotee realizes or perceives some blessings from Bhagavan, then he is further delighted. His joy knows no bound. He becomes happy. Oh, Bhagavan is so pleased with me. And he further surrenders, further totally. Bhagavan, you have done so much for me. So he goes on and loves him more and more. So he experiences the abundance of his love, his grace, his blessings. He experiences the omnipresent Lord. He experiences the omnipotence of the Lord in the universe. That's why Bhakti is considered nobler than Jnana or Karma Yoga. Because these are all different margas, different paths. Yes. In Jnana or Karma Yoga, you first strive with the knowledge or with action or with yogasana, you strive. But while striving, while you are putting in efforts and you are also developing some sort of a ego. Many teachers you'll find, many acharyas you'll find, they are very egoistic also. And this becomes a means that suppose you are doing Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, you are not getting directly your mukti. You are not getting liberated. You have to go through another path. You have to do Jnana, then only you reach the Bhagavan. Same way, Jnana also, once you have realized, then realization takes place. And after Jnana, your realization takes place. But in Bhakti, the divine love, you see, it is a path. It is a means. Through this path, you approach the Lord. But it is also the end result. And nothing more. You approach the Bhagavan with bhakti, you end Bhagavan with your efforts with bhakti also. Love is fulfillment by itself. Earlier sutra we had seen, when you surrender and when you are, you are bubbling with love, you are feeling that, throbbing with love, then you are so mesmerized by His grace that itself is fulfillment. Love itself is fulfillment. And the Bhakta doesn't seek anything else because he did not want anything more than sitting at the feet of the Lord. So that divine love at the feet of the Lord, Bhagavan, that love itself has the inherent strength of fulfillment, satisfaction, and infinite joy. You are one with the Lord by the by your strength of your bhakti itself. And that bhakti itself is culminating in bhakti. That love itself is fulfillment for you, gives you total satisfaction and infinite joy. What more you expect? So Bhagavan, because he loves this path of bhakti, he loves this path of bhakti because he despises abhiman. He despises ego, vanity, ahankara. He loves humility. He loves meekness. So this concept is clear for this sutra, right? Because Bhagavan's preference is meekness or humility, and he doesn't like egoism, so he doesn't. So the bhakti marga is better than Narada. So unlike other paths, a devotee practices in the beginning, he goes to Bhagavan, he says, Bhagavan, I am nobody. I am nothing. For me, you are everything. I surrender to you. I am your servant. His humility, his simplicity is well acknowledged by Bhagavan. So the person who totally surrenders, Bhagavan likes him. Who is humble, Bhagavan likes him. Whereas in the path of jnana and karma and yoga, his ego comes up. He becomes very confident that I know so many things. My intelligence is so high that I remember so many things. I can chant the Gita or the Sutras or Brahma Sutra, I can chant. Or he is also very confident of his power of discrimination. Viveka, I have Viveka. I have Vairagya. So he understands, a Jnani understands his strengths. So with that, if he try to show off that I am a Viveki, I have power of discrimination, and I am so educated, I am a Jnani, I am intelligent, I have the qualification. With that, he says, Aham Brahmasmi. All of you say, all of us say that. We are studying so much. All the time we say Aham Brahmasmi. Whereas a Bhakta will approach the Bhagavan and he will say, I am the servant. I am not Brahman. I am servant. Isn't it? Dasoham. Dasa aham. Dasoham. That means I am your servant. But a Jnani will go and say, Aham Brahmasmi. There is an anecdote that a student of Vedanta, after some studies, he went to his guru, and the guru asked him, some questions. Then he sat next to guru. He says, Aham Brahmasmi, you are Brahma, I am Brahman, so I am sitting next to you. So that ego goes into the head who doesn't understand the knowledge properly. So, whereas a Jnani proclaims Aham Brahmasmi, the Bhakta says Dasoham, and he takes a back seat. He doesn't want to be one with the Lord. He goes there, sits down at his feet. But this fellow, the Jnani, tries to be one with him. Soham. Sa aham. Sa means that Bhagavan and me are one. This is what we study. So he'll say Soham, whereas the Bhakta will say Dasoham. You just add da. Soham, Dasoham. Jnani says Soham, Bhakta says Dasoham. So with that, Soham In that Soham, what is predominant is humility, meekness, which is lacking with the Jnani. Because Bhagavan likes humility and he hates the ego, he likes the bhaktas. Clear logic. Every sutra is a logically correct. Finally, you have to see what is the right thing for us. So Bhakta says that Soham may be true. He doesn't deny. He says Soham may be true, but I am Dasoham. Jnani says Soham, I am Brahman. The moment humility comes, peace comes. Shanta. The moment you are humble, you are simple. Okay. So the Bhakta says, Papi, I am Papi. I need your grace. I need your blessings. Then Bhagavan blesses him. Peace descends. Huh? So the Dasoham and Soham, this is the difference. Bhagavan blesses the Bhakta. Bhagavan also blesses the Jnani. But Bhagavan takes the Bhakta who is at the feet of the Lord. Bhagavan lifts him up and puts him next to the Lord. The Bhakta is picked up, bodily lifted from the feet of the Lord. He himself, Bhakta doesn't do that. Bhagavan picks him up and embraces him. So in the practice of Dasoha, he says, I am nobody, I am Dasa. But Bhagavan himself makes the effort to make him one with the Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, Soham, you, me, and the same. How it happens? With the grace of the Lord, with the grace of Bhagavan. So with the self-effort, by his own work, he comes to the feet of the Lord, he says, Dasoham. Whereas, because of humility, he experiences Soham with the grace of Bhagavan. So Bhakti is the path Bhagavan loves. I'll give you an example. In Tulsi Ramayana, see, after the first attempt by Hanumanji to Sri Lanka, where he goes and he locates Sitaji in the Ashokvan and then comes back. Then he does he burns the Lanka and comes back. Obviously, it's a great job done. So he comes and reports to Sri Ramji. So he doesn't boast that I have done this, I have done that. He goes, Bhagavan praises him, oh, you have done this. But he goes at the feet of the Lord and he does Sastanga Namaskar. He prostrates, he cries, he holds the Bhagavan's feet. Bhagavan praises him, he says, Hanumanji, because of you, I have located my beloved. And you have done such great job in Lanka. You have completely burnt out Lanka. You are great. But Hanumanji cries at his feet. He says, Bhagavan, you may say anything you like, but I know in my heart, this strength, this valor has come only from you. This is your grace. And because of your grace, I have done this work. Now you are praising me. If you praise me so much, my ego will come up. Then in that instant, Ramji lifts him up. He lifts him up and embraces him. So, what we are learning from this? That Hanumanji makes efforts and says, Aham Dasoham. Whereas Ramji makes an effort and picks up Hanumanji and he says, you are one with me. You are Soham. So this is the difference between Jnana and Bhakti. Devotee always falls at the feet of the Lord. He becomes insignificant in comparison to the Lord. All of us are insignificant. When the Bhagavan is all pervading, all knowing, all powerful Bhagavan, in his front, what we are? We are very insignificant creatures. In our own eyes, we are that small, that tiny. Whereas Bhagavan blesses the Bhakta and he lifts up with his hand and takes him close and embraces him. That way, the Bhakta becomes one with the Lord. And Bhakti becomes the fulfillment for the Bhakta. I'll give you another example. Not an example, but something I liked. They say, so we are comparing Jnani and Bhakta, right? They say, the Naya for a Jnani is Markata Naya. Listen carefully. The Naya for a Jnani is a Markata Naya. Markata Naya is what? It's like a monkey. So the mother monkey, you must have seen, huh? When the mother monkey has the baby monkey with her, the baby monkey catches from the stomach and catches the mother monkey, and she jumps around and the baby monkey also goes around. So here what? The baby monkey is holding the mother. It is the baby monkey's strength that he holds her. This is called Markatanaya. But whereas in Bhakta, for a Bhakta, it's a Marjararaya. Marjar means cat. Okay. So, like a cat, you have seen cat when you want to move around with the kitten, the small cat, the cat herself picks up the kitten and she goes out. So, what is stronger? The strength of the mother is stronger or the strength of the child is stronger? In Markatanaya, the child is catching the mother for the Jnani. Whereas for the Bhakta, the mother is catching the child. So you will find the strength in the mother is greater than the strength of the child. So in this example, we see that certainly the Bhakta's approach is superior than the approach of the Jnani. Jnani's ego that I know so much of knowledge, I know Bhagavan Swarupa, I know I have the power of discrimination, I use my jnana and vairagya, I use my viveka. All this, when it shows off, then Bhagavan says, you go get out. You are not fit for bhakti. You are not fit to come here. So, as I told you, the Markatanaya is jnana. For a jnani is Markatanaya. For a bhakta is Marjaranaya. I like these comparisons, you see. Same way, the jnani makes the efforts to be one with the Lord by saying Soham or Om Brahmasmi. Whereas a bhakta leaves that to the Bhagavan. A bhakta goes and prostrates at the feet of the Lord. He says, Dasoham, and the Bhagavan melts, his heart melts. and he picks up the bhakta and embraces him, makes him sit next to him, and he says, Soham. So this Soham, that means entire responsibility of lifting the bhakta from the ground to the Bhagavan's position is with the Bhagavan, like the Marjarana. Whereas for a Jnani, he himself has to lift up himself. Uddarate Atmani Atman. You rise by your own self-effort. This is Bhagavad Gita. I am not saying no. Gita is that you raise yourself by your own self-effort. So, Bhakti is like the mother, and Jnana is the child. You have seen the other ones, the Bhagavad also. Huh? The Bhakti is the mother, and she is nourishing two children, Jnana and Vairagya. So you also understand. See, all correlated. They are not separate. They are all correlated statements. So you cultivate bhakti first, surrender to the Lord, and the Bhagavan himself will raise you to his level and take you together. So this is the Sutra 27. Why bhakti is superior to other paths of sadhana, and this sutra is saying because Bhagavan doesn't like an egoistic person. Bhagavan likes a person who is meek and who surrenders. That's why bhakti is superior to jnana and karma. Okay. So this completes our discussion on sutra number 27. So let us have a discussion. Why to hurry? We'll just chant the next sutra, but we'll have question answer session on sutra number 27. Sutra 28 now. Tasya jnanameva sadhanam iti eke. Repeat. Tasya jnanameva sadhanam eke.
Sadhanam eke.
Tasya jnanam eva sadhanam iti eke.
Sadhanam iti eke.
The basic meaning of this sutra is that some other acharyas say that knowledge alone is the means for divine love. Knowledge alone is the means for divine love. This will go to next sutra, we'll see next time. Now let us have some question answer session on the this what we discussed today, and before that also what we have done. How does it? What is your take on that or questions on that? Please. The floor is open for questions.
Can I?
Yes.
See, you mean to say that the Viveka, Vairagya and Sat Sampatti are not required, but in Sat Sampatti, Shraddha, Titikya, then Isvara Pranidhana, Samadhana, or in the Mumsattvam. See, these are very important for the bhakti. So you must have the sadhana chatushtaya to become a good bhakta. because these are the qualities of a bhakta. So, just to see that it is not necessary, maybe.
Anybody, any other question? No, so is what you are saying, the quality of bhakta, we are not saying no. What we are doing here is we are analyzing the different opinions of different acharyas and rishis. We are not saying that this is right or wrong. So all the opinions will take, and then you judge for yourself what is good and bad. But here, what I can say is the sutra itself is not also telling that the sadhana chatushtaya is bad or it's not required. But for a bhakta, in the beginning, you don't need all these qualifications. He can
understand, he should be knowing it also.
He doesn't know, he may not know Bhagavan also. He surrenders. Later on, we'll see how Dhruva did not know anybody. He just surrendered. Or even Sabari also never had the picture of Bhagavan also. Surrender only for years. So, knowledge is not required, and also the sadhana, the chatushtaya, what you are talking about, jnana, viveka, vairagya, sat sampatti is also not required. Bhakta lives in bhakti only. He surrenders.
Dasoham, when we are telling, that means we are accepting the duality. I am one and Bhagavan is another.
Yes,
But
that's very correct. Yes, in bhakti, you have to accept duality. But then ultimate bhakti, what you say, later on we'll see that Amrita Swarupa, what is sung, that also makes that you are one with the Lord. But when you are approaching Bhagavan, Dasoham, that means Bhagavan is separate, I am separate. So duality is always. Otherwise, how will you pray? How will you sit in front of the Lord? So idol jo hai, in puja room, how can you sit? Bhagavan is different, I am different, I am doing puja. You cannot say that I am Bhagavan, I am doing puja. Yes.
According to Veda and Upanishad, we are just gaining knowledge to know that it is Soham. So
Yes.
I am different.
No, see.
I am also Brahman.
See, it is the evolvement, stages of evolvement. All of a sudden, I cannot proclaim myself to be Soham. Even though I say I have to prove myself, I have to, yeah.
Other than Sankara, Bhagavan Sankara, I don't think that anybody has told that Soham. I don't know. I mean, my knowledge may be very poor, limited, but nobody has told that I am Soham.
I have one doubt that one Jnani, if he is going that way, can he tell afterwards that Dasoham?
See, as I told you now, in the beginning, you have to practice bhakti. All the time, you have to have bhakti. What beginning? You have to have bhakti all the time. Otherwise, the jnana will never come. See, the Shraddha, and with Shraddha, we are doing for bhakti, you require Shraddha also. So, without Shraddha, without bhakti, the jnana will not come also. So, that's why I see, I'll tell you personal experience also. I mean, my guru also told me, you are too much of having intellectual knowledge. You have to, mellow down with bhakti.
Correct.
You have to mellow down with bhakti.
We can see a complete change of the tone now. Complete change of the. No, I will tell you. During 60s, when this Vishnu Sahasranama was released on that playback records, before Shivalakshmi sings that song, mantra, then hymns started. There was a small introduction by the Rajagopalacharya. I remember it always. He said, Information, when matures, becomes the knowledge. When the knowledge matures, it becomes the wisdom. And when the wisdom matures, okay, then it becomes bhakti. So, I mean, that is very apt actually, because you collect the information, we only collect the information, and we have the knowledge. Your wisdom will not be there, and when the wisdom matures, then you become a bhakta, you get the devotion.
See, again, that is the opinion of one great person.
Gopalacharya, yes.
So this what Radholchari's comment is also opinion of one great Acharya. So similarly, we are studying different opinions of different Acharyas and Mahatmas and Rishis. So now we have to make up our mind what to do. Because they're saying, I mean, somewhere he's saying Jnana is required. Next, as I told you, Jnanameva sadhanam iti ekam. Next sutra, the sutra 28, is Jnanameva sadhanam. Jnana is the knowledge alone is the means for bhakti. So you have to now apply your discretion, discrimination to find what is the right thing to do. So let's not jump into conclusion because of one sutra.
You are always Bhagavan Pakara Samaste Ponchite. It's not that we are not with God.
Yes.
We must have with God. That is true. But it is a matter of removal of that andhakara. It is not that the God is not there. Whether he becomes a Jnani or a Bhakta or a Karmajogi, whatever it means, that exists. See? The only question is how you want to see that andhakar, that is what they say, that ignorance. You have to remove that veil. The other side, there is a veil only. People those who say that all these things, that is veil. You have to remove the veil, then you see the sunlight. At the end of the tunnel is the light only. Yeah.
Yes. Shishir Babu, any of your comments?
No, sir. No question. No.
So you are not debating. You are not debating like Arnav Goswami's panel. Some people for Jnana, some people for Bhakti.
So, actually, in the long run, everything ultimately becomes one.
Yes.
So because in the long run, as we are also, we are in the midway of Narada Bhakti Sutra. But by the time we reach towards the end, we feel that all the roads, they lead to only that one.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
But in that way, sir, Bhakti is a very appealing. Bhakti is very appealing because you have to, it's musical, then you have to have bhajan, you have to have this thing, and you get somehow linked to God in a heart to heart, in a better manner than even in jnana or anything. Your jnana mostly logical, so sometimes it becomes little monotonous. But in bhakti, you can spend even times like anything while doing bhajan or kirtan without knowing that the time has been spent. That is how it appeals to the heart.
That's correct. That's correct. Satyanarayan Babu, your comments.
Yes, sir. Actually, I told Bhagavad में लिखा ना chapter 2 भक्ति कले जे ज्ञान हुए प्राणी न पड़े माया मोह. I have clearly listed it is. Anyway, actually bhakti के लिए what you have told, actually ego will be zero. If your ego will be zero, then it will be automatically many other bad qualities, ahankar, desha, raga, everything will go out from your life. Because when we have desha hota hai, there is enmity, internal. If ego is zero, then automatically this andhakar will vanish. And God, just like a child, suppose a mother has 3, 4 child, 5 childs. One child is very weak, and he is not capable to compete with other boys, other children. Naturally, mother will have a soft corner toward the weakest boy, weakest child. So naturally, he will take it up there and live with his lap. Just like Rodhanam, Balanam, Balam. Children have the only bala is when a weak, when we crying, mother will help her. So that means bhakti means egoless. When we have egoless, we will pray to God that we have nothing. We are just like Daso. What you have told is right. You will be like Daso. I am when I ignominy, my ignominy is zero. So you help me. Then naturally God will help. Because we are all God's children. We are all children. So that's why it is telling bhakti and bhakti. There are so many. All this bad quality will automatically wipe it out. Unless it will wipe it out, God will not take it us. They will feel that it has a ego.
Yes, good, very nicely exposed. Dhruva, you are there? Dhruva? No, I think he comes and goes. Anyway,
It is in
so
prayer
I
time.
think, Mahesh, anything?
Prayer time. Actually, he goes for prayer by 5:45.
5:45.
So last 15 minutes is busy with prayer.
Okay. That's it. So we concluded today with this completion of Sutra number 27. Next class we'll take Sutra 28 and onwards. Sutra 28, as I told you, Tasya Jnanameva Sadhanam iti eki. Some of the acharyas proclaim that knowledge alone is the means for divine love. That means you have to have knowledge to have bhakti. Because how will you know? If you don't know somebody, then how can you love him or her? In the worldly sense also, you will love somebody only when you know him or her. Without knowing, you cannot love him. Same way, Bhagavan also, you got to have some knowledge to love him. So, knowledge becomes the path, the means to love. So, this we'll see in the next class. That puts us in another thought process for the next class, okay? Without knowing, you cannot love somebody.
But
That
sir,
will be arranged marriage.
one thing is very sure that while reading or while developing knowledge, ego is automatically boosted up. Suppose you are discussing something and you know so many slokos or anything, the moment you utter immediately inside, like
Yes.
it happens to me also, I feel very, as if I knew everything like that.
Yes.
And suddenly it came up like anything, then I try to calm down myself forcefully. अरे भाई तुम्हें थोड़ा ego को कम करना चाहिए. Like that I give auto suggestion, otherwise ego doesn't come down. I feel much as if I know so many things. Like that, sir, it happens. It happens number of times. And every time I give auto suggestion, God is great. Why? Who are you after all? Even this knowledge is nothing. But I have to tell number of times. Even very rarely it comes down.
That's correct. So everybody doesn't have the auto suggestion mechanism with him. So some of the teachers and acharyas also, they get boosted with their ego that they know so much. Compare with the others also. So that ego comes as a hurdle, as an obstacle to their knowledge. Anyway, we have discussed all this. We thank you very much. We'll do the Santi Patam. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्ताम्
न्यायेन मार्गेण मही महिषा ओ
सुब्रह्मण्यस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनः भवन्तु काले गच्छन्तु जनाः पृथिवी शस्यशालिनी
ब्राह्मण संतुलित भया
संतुलित
क्या हुआ
ओम सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम थैंक यू सर